Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. Here we go with the Bubble Nebula. This is the 200 PDS, which I've rigged this evening, and it's first light with this, so I set this up this afternoon, and this is a screen grab that I took of a video, which is why it's a bit hazy. But we're on the Bubble Nebula tonight, and let's have a look at what we've got. So you can just see the bubble there, and if I zoom in a bit, there it is. There's the bubble, and kind of some nebulosity there. There's a bit of nebulosity around there. And I'm using the 200 PDS, which is a beast, I have to say. Absolute beast. It's huge. And it's riding on the AZ EQ6. So let's look at the guiding. Forgive me, I'm just going to cough. Guiding's not bad. It's quite a weight that's on there. The weather is calm outside, so it's not windy. Last night was really windy, and I had to really use the lightweight scope last night. So it looks like the guiding is pretty good actually. It's not too bad. There's the bubble there. Now I did collimate this afternoon, and it took a while to get it really sort of where I wanted it to be. But now I'm looking at this. You can kind of see there's little trails going off on my stars. And I'm wondering if I should have taken a bit more time this evening on a single star just to get that collimation spot on. But if I zoom out on the image, they don't look too bad. So I wouldn't be that zoomed in normally anyway. So let's have a look around the rest of the image. I'm using a coma corrector on this. So if you go over here, they kind of look round. They're a little bit eggy. And the guiding, sorry, go back. So the guiding is not too bad, considering the size of the scope that's on there. So that's when I was rigging and balancing it this afternoon. I don't know if you guys have any questions, or if you'd like me to show you anything in particular on this setup, please whack it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer those. So we're on the Bubble Nebula, which you can just see there. Let's go back to the middle. There we go. So there's the bubble. And there's some nebulosity there. And some that I can see there. I don't know if you guys can see that much. But that's the Bubble Nebula. And I've set this going to image overnight, so basically this will image all night, and then it should, with this imaging plan here, this second one here, although it's got loads of imaging details in it, it's actually not taking any images at all. It's just to park the scope at the end of the sequence. I'm taking 180 seconds, so 3 minutes, and it's an offset of 60, gain 100, and I'm going to do 150 of those hopefully. It will do a meridian flip at some point. which is currently monitoring here. Hello, welcome everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Feel free to ask anything in the chat here, and I'll do my best to answer it. So the setup this evening, 200 PDS first light. Everything else is as I would normally set it up. So it's the AZ EQ6, and I've now got a dew heater on the base here, and then this has also got some black felt covering to stop light leaks. I spent a little time this afternoon doing some calibration on this to get the collimation just right, although I'm not sure if I've got it just right looking at my star shapes at the moment, so I might have to revisit that. But I was just keen to get this out really. The cameras tonight, guiding, I've got the 224 MC with just an SV Bony mini scope, which actually is a bit small for this length, this focal length. I could do with a longer focal length one, which I do have, which is I just hadn't got it set up in time, so this one was set up. And I'm also using an Altair 26C and a tri-band filter because it's almost full moon, so I'm kind of going to be up against it a bit with this image because it's full moon. So yeah, we'll see. It might be a bit washed out later on, but you know, I was keen. It was clear. I decided to rig and get everything out there. This is a monster of a scope, though. It's an absolute beast. Carrying that out and getting it set up, I wasn't anticipating it feeling quite as big as it is, but it is a big scope. But it's great, really good. Let's have a look at what it's doing. So there's the bubble in the middle, and let's have a look. So that's the full sort of image that you can see, and the bubbles in the centre there. There's a lovely cluster of stars here, and there's a load of nebulosity which I'm hoping to get around this, which should be really interesting. If you've got any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. I haven't used the EQ6 for a while, and I was a little concerned because I couldn't get it to connect to the laptop, and it turns out that the RS232 serial to USB driver for some reason had stopped working, so I had to reinstall that. But that's okay. That's some of the things you have to do. I'm using EQ mod, which you can see here, and I've basically put the pulse guide settings on full on this, and because I hadn't set up this for this particular scope, I haven't put any mount limits in, which might turn out to be a problem. I don't know yet, so I'm closely watching when the meridian flip is going to be, because I'm a bit concerned that with such a large scope, I'm a bit concerned that as this end rotates around, there's a leg just here, and as it gets to the meridian, it might just touch that, so I have to be careful. I just need to watch that carefully when it does the meridian flip later on. That's EQ mod. Let's have a look at some guiding. Guiding's not bad. I hastily set up this evening and didn't really calibrate it properly, but guiding's pretty good. I can make it look better obviously by doing that and then it looks really flat, but that would be a little foolhardy, so I like to see what's going on. So this is obviously the dither period between imaging, where it pushes the scope around so that any noise pixels are averaged out amongst the frames. So they'll be hopefully averaged out. And let's zoom in a bit and see what we've got. So there's the bubble. It's got this little blob of nebulosity there, and you can just see the red there. I'm a bit worried about these stars though. Can you see they've got this kind of funny kind of wisp going out, and it's mainly on this side, and it looks like my collimation's off, even though I tried really hard this afternoon to get the collimation spot on. I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, that one's, they're all a bit egg-shaped, aren't they? But if I go over to this side, I just wonder if I go back to the middle. See, they're not perfect circles, but then I won't be zooming in that far. It will be more kind of wide field or wider field. So it might be alright, And I did see there's a really good video using deconvolution to try and tighten stars slightly. So we'll see. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and say hi. Be good to speak to some of you guys. I can see some of you are watching at the moment, so hello everybody. And yeah, if you have any questions about the rig, this is first light with the new scope, which is really good. So today I fitted a new set of collimation screws to the secondary mirror. I managed to pick some up from eBay, which were correct. They're little M4 35mm ones with a knurled end, so that you can adjust them with your thumb, with thumb screws. I also fitted a better compression ring based mount for the camera, so that's been done. I fitted a dew heater on the back and also some felt to block light leaks from this end, and that's just my normal guiding setup there, although I should have really used a slightly longer focal length one, which I do have, which is set up on a different scope at the moment. So that's all imaging at the moment. The Bubble Nebula is amazing. I never, when you first see that and you see this, it really is, you can just imagine something that exploded, and that's the shockwave going out. It's amazing to see, really good. Guiding's not too bad. It's just the shape of those stars which is a bit concerning. Must try harder. So on this side they're a different shape entirely. But they're not pinpoint, are they? Yeah, they could be better, really. These ones are pretty awful. So I think I think we'll just see how this evening goes. So hello to anybody who's out there. Feel free to put any questions in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. We're on the Bubble Nebula tonight and this is the rig which is in the garden at the moment. This is the 200 PDS. Excuse me. So it's a 1000mm, 200mm diameter mirror, which makes it an f5 scope, so that's counted as kind of a reasonable speed, a good speed for imaging. So it's a relatively fast Newtonian, and it's got an Altair 26C camera here and a tri-band filter because it's nearly full moon and I want to see if I can just get first light on this scope tonight and see what sort of images we can get from it. Guiding, this is an SV Bony mini guide scope, so it's quite a wide field. It's a 30mm lens and it's 120mm focal length, which is a bit short for this focal length here. Ideally I would like something a bit longer for this particular telescope, which I do have on my other setup. I just couldn't get it rigged in time tonight. That's ZWO ASI 224MC doing the guiding, and at this end I've got a dew heater or a dew band, and then I've blocked this off as well with felt so that you can not get any light leaks coming through this way. And that's pretty much the setup actually. It's yeah, it's imaging away at the moment. Guiding's pretty good actually. It's not too bad at the moment. Somebody's sending me messages. Ah, Fabian. Cool, thank you for joining. Yeah, if anyone would like to put any messages in the chat, feel free. I'll do my best to answer any questions. So the guiding, although it's quite spiky, it's looking relatively consistent. There's nothing there that I would be particularly concerned about, I don't think. Let's have a look again. It's a bit rubbish, these stars. It just suggests that the collimation's off. Or it could be that there's some tilt. Would that be tilt? Is that, I mean, it's egg-shaped, but that looks pretty good. It's really hard to know. Really hard to know. I can show you my latest image if I can call this up. Let's have a look over here. So I was imaging earlier this week, and this is my latest image, which is the Seda region. So the star Seda here, and then all of this amazing nebulosity. And you can see there's this weird secondary diffraction going on, which isn't right, but it does look quite cool. So there was this one which I was working on this week. I managed to get 2 nights on that. So yeah, I really like the colour on this. I think it looks brilliant. And then I also took some time on the North American Nebula. This is so there's Cygnus Wall. And they've all got this weird secondary diffraction, which someone said might be focus, but I'm not sure. So here's the Bubble Nebula. There you go, you can see the bubble just in the middle, and there's kind of a red nebulosity around there, which looks quite cool. Well, that's a really good question. Sorry, I wasn't keeping up with all the chat. Could I do anything to do with those diffraction spikes? I think the answer to that is yes, and I think it's a combination of improving my collimation, and which I think is a big thing at the moment for me, because I don't do collimation that often, and I really need to completely nail that. And somebody also said it was down to focus, so I want to try and improve my focus. But if we look back, I think it was this one, was it? No, it wasn't that one. So if I just navigate to that image again, I keep selecting the PC in the garden. Select the PC over here. So on the star Seda with the secondary, so we've got the main diffraction spikes, which you can't do anything about, because that's part of the characteristics of a Newtonian, because that's the secondary mirror support. But these ones, these huge ones, are probably to do with focus or my poor collimation. So I need to nail that. This was taken with a 130 PDS, which is a fantastic scope. And if anyone was to buy just one telescope to be able to do some deep sky imaging, I would say the 130 PDS is sensational. It's such a great scope. It really is good. So yeah, really great scope to work with. But that was the Seda region, and it's just beautiful. It really is beautiful. I mean, what is going on? It's just amazing. There's so much to see. It's really good. Yeah, Dave, it's not focused. Is the focus tube going too far into the image circle? Some people cut their focus tubes down by 80 millimeters to avoid it. Yeah, that's a really good point. I've heard about that, Dave, and it might have to be something to do, but it's all a learning curve with this. So yeah, it's interesting. It's not focused. Okay. I guess to improve the focus. Yeah, but I do have a Pegasus Astro focuser, which I was tempted to, because it's on my refractor at the moment, I was tempted to take that off and put it on one of these, because I'm really enjoying using the Newtonians at the moment. It's just really good fun, and it's a bit weird. I'm enjoying it more because there's so much to go wrong, but when you get it right, it's really rewarding. I know that sounds really odd. Why would you deliberately make it difficult for yourself? And I just find it more challenging and more fun. And it's about enjoying yourself at the end of the day. It's so, yeah. By looking at the diffraction spikes, it's from the spider veins. Collimation looks good. Okay, cool. I'm wondering if there's light leakage. Yeah, now that's a good point. My light leakage, my 130 PDS was really light leaky, and if we look at my 200 PDS, which is this is what is imaging at the moment. This end, obviously not the open end. This end and the same on my 130 PDS is now wrapped in felt, blackout felt material. So that cuts that, and also around, you can't see it there, sorry, this was a screen grab from a video. This end is wrapped also in felt, but not the camera, because I obviously want the camera to be cooled. But where the filter drawer is, that's wrapped, and where around the actual focuser is, it's wrapped in black. So that hopefully will stop any light leaks. And when I take darks and flats and dark flats and all that stuff, I wrap the scope up so that no light can get in. So it's all in a thick black felt, blackout material. So yeah, but these are my last two images. So that was Seda, the star Seda, and the region around it. The other spike issue is the mirror clips, which create a gasket in black and cover the outer edge of the primary mirror to cover the mirror clips. Dave, thank you. You know what? I'm going to copy that, because all of this, in fact, this chat is really useful. Thank you. Which is kind of what it's all about, really, isn't it? Question is, where do I copy it to? I'll send it to myself in a message. Cool, I've got that now. Yeah, let's have a look at what's actually going on outside. So, we're on the Bubble Nebula. My stars are a bit rubbish tonight. I'll go out for the... so this is that's the full wide view. So you can just see the bubble in the middle, and then there's some nebulosity around there, but I'm hoping it's going to be nice and red all the way around. There's a lovely cluster of stars there. But if we look at what's actually going on with the stars, they're not round, they're a bit like meteors with little tails, which I'm fairly sure is my collimation, but we'll see. Let's see what guiding's doing. Not too bad. Am I using a coma corrector? Yes, I am. I'm using the Barda coma corrector, which has been pretty good, actually. this image that was done with the chroma corrector, and let's just call up my other image that I did recently, North American Nebula, which was this one. So this was about a week ago. I'm hoping to get this one out fairly soon on a video, and also let's just close those. So that was one fairly recent one, and then the Seda region as well. Sorry, I just saw a message come in, I didn't see it. Could be backspacing. Yep. Could I, oh, there's no point me showing you just an empty screen. There we go. Yes, it could be backspacing. So so let's see what's going on with APT. So this is astrophotography tool, which I think is the best imaging software at the moment that I've got. I have used Nina as well, but I've started with APT. I find it so easy and it just works. So I like APT a lot. Yes, yeah, but it could be tilt. Now that's a really good point, because if you look here, so imagine that's got a tail going off that direction, and then if you look over in this corner, they're slightly over in that direction. Those ones are not bad, actually. I mean, they're not circles, but they're not as bad as they could be. And that's the middle, where the bubble is. So if you look on that one, that's the bright star which is near the bubble. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know but it's going to be relatively wide. I'm not going to be zooming in. I might crop it a bit depending on the so when it's stacked, there's always stacking artifacts, so you tend to lose a bit on the edge, which is a shame because I really love that star cluster there. So I'm hoping I won't lose that. Yeah, Nina does, yes. Yeah, that's a good point actually, Dave. I might try that. So Nina has a image tilt tester, and also looks for other anomalies and say how far out and what direction. That's a really good point. And yeah, I might run. Do you have to do it with your telescope attached, or can you run an image through that, Dave? Do you know? So it would be good to know if that's my collimation or if it's tilt. Ah, good question. Yep. Okay. I think it does it live. Okay. I think what I'll have to do then is set up with Nina is on this PC, I think. Have I got Nina on this one? No, I haven't got Nina on this one. I might have to run an image session with Nina then. You've got tilt on the raster. I've got to sort out. I'm now using an APS. Nice, and it shows. That's going to be fun. Yes. Good luck with that one. It was fun this evening setting up this. It was really good fun. I didn't realise just how big an 8-inch 1000mm focal length Newtonian is until you rig it, and then especially if you've been working with a 130 PDS. It's a different beast entirely. But I just find it really good fun. It's just, you know, there's something quite rewarding about messing about with it until you get it to work. I know a Newtonian is a bit more work than just a refractor, but this is just, it was just a bit of a laugh. So yeah. I think the 130 PDS is, Dave, is brilliant. I think it's probably my favourite telescope at the moment that I've got, and I'm really enjoying using it. It's just, you know, when it's just fun, and I know it can be a pain to get everything working, but it's just a good fun telescope to use, and the views are brilliant. I mean, I know the secondary diffraction spikes are not great, I get that, but that's a pretty image, and I'm really pleased with that. I just thought it looked nice. I mean, it's not going to win any awards, I get that, but it's just pretty. Yeah, it is. It's a good value scope. You do have to pimp them a bit. You do need to change those silly focuser locks to ones with a compression ring. But there's, I think it's Astro Essentials. They do one for about £30. I've also done that to the 200 PDS, and also I didn't buy Bob's knobs for my 200 PDS, but I did for the 130 PDS for the secondary mirror. They're brilliant. And make collimation so much easier. But I measured the thread on the 200 PDS, and I just went on eBay and bought the equivalent of Bob's knobs, but with a knurled thumb screw and 35mm thread, and they look exactly the same. So I got something like 10 of those for a £5, so that was really good. So and they're just an M4 thread, and it worked perfectly. So that's good. And then of course a dew heater, a dew band as well. And it's really dewy tonight, so I put a dew band and a black felt, and then there's a dew heater there as well. I always find that amazing that you can actually see a bubble in space. Okay, there's an image coming in. I should be dithering now. Guiding's not brilliant. Am I in any of the Facebook Astro groups? I am, yes, but I kind of don't promote, it's a bit strange, I don't promote the channel at all. I know that sounds a bit weird. I don't post videos in groups. I started this to kind of keep myself sane during lockdown, but I'm in the UK Cloud Magnets, which is a lovely group. Yeah, UK Cloud Magnets, absolutely. It's a great group, actually. It's a very friendly group, and it seems to be, it's relatively small as well. It's just people who want to help everyone else out, which is great. And that's really good, because it's not we're going to the camp in November. I hope you're not camping. I hope you're in a camper van, or else you'll be slightly chilly. It's always a bit cold in November to go camping. Okay, guiding's gone a bit mad, but that's... I wonder what's happening. Hoping guiding's going to settle down. It's gone a bit weird. I might nip outside in a minute and go and see if there's something snagged on it. See what happened there. Yeah, they're looking a bit weird now. Right, I think I'm going to sign off. Because everything seems to be running. So thank you all for joining. I hope you've all got clear skies at the moment. You're able to get some imaging time. It's great that the nights have sort of opened up a little bit. I managed to get this running before 9 o'clock tonight, which was great. Have I watched Glenn's videos on the 130 PDS mods? Okay, Glenn is the god of the 130 PDS. If anyone has taken the 130 PDS beyond its ever designed sort of specifications and concepts, Glenn has done it, and his images are astounding. So yeah, absolute respect to Glenn for the stuff that he is able to do with that 130 PDS of his, because his imaging is astounding. It's really good, and there's a man I want to learn from. Brilliant. What an amazing set of mods, and some astonishing... Actually, one thing I really like are his collaborations with people from around the world with different kit. That's really good. So yeah, his work is total respect to him. Absolutely brilliant, and it just goes to show what you can do with what is in essence sort of a 230 quid scope. I think it is now. I think when I bought mine it was sub 200, but now they're a bit more than that. But yeah, really good, really good. Okay, everybody, take care, and I hope you're all getting clear skies, and I will see you in the next stream. So thanks all for joining, and see you soon. Bye now.